update, week 2 of my ghostwriting business. As I mentioned on week 1, I had joined this uh, Build Your Way to Wealth challenge, Nicholas Cole and Techie Bush. And this week, I've I've been working on that still. I finished day 1 homework, which was basically figuring out what's my niche based on my life experiences and my information advantage. So I put the prompt in AI, the prompt they gave me, and I gave all my answers about my life experiences, the jobs I've had, the things I've been doing, and how I've challenged myself in the past 5 years, etc. And yeah, it gave me some ideas of what my niche could be, and I'm happy with the results. I agree with them. So yeah, I finished that homework. I also finished my notes for day 1 of the challenge. I I did mind maps, which are right here. So yeah, I did mind maps. I like to take notes with mind maps. So I did that. It's basically a summary for day 1, and now I'm working on uh, the homework and the line maps for day 2. Um, which now that I think of it, I took a long time, I guess, a week for that, but that's what I do. Um, but it wasn't all just homework and notes, because at the end of the day, that doesn't really move the needle. I just really wanted things to really stick and really just, for my brain to soak these things. And I think the best way to do that is making notes and mind maps. So that's why I did that. I also did other things like actual, more tangible things. I continued working on the free build, grow, scale resource. Is that even their name? I don't know. But these guys on Substack, build, grow, scale, or whatever their name is, they have this free resource, as I mentioned, and I created my a proper bio based on the niche I from the homework that I did. I created a proper bio for my Substack, and I created a proper about page, which it was a little harder than I thought. Just a lot of you really gotta think of what you're trying to do in terms of who you are trying to reach and why, and what you want them to get out of you. What do you want to provide for them? It's more elaborate than I thought. But yeah, I did made a bio and an about page for my Substack. I also had a call with this girl on Substack. Her name is Rita. Her Substack is the Riri Burst. We just had a Zoom call, and I count this as part of it because as part of this whole ghostwriting thing, because I'm connecting with other um people in on Substack, and maybe not. She's not in my niche exactly, except both love music and we both made music, even if I haven't released it out to the public. She has, but anyway, I count it as a win for the week because, well, who knows? I don't think much else may come from that, but I don't know. Maybe I'll continue developing, building a relationship with her, and she's awesome. She's very um nerdy musically, and she's like me in that sense. And I don't think I had ever had a conversation like that with any other human being as passionate as me about music. I think it's the first time in my life. Anyway, I connected with her. I count that as a win. I also had my first Substack live with some guy. Um, His Substack name is The Creator. He's he looks like a little kid, but I don't say that in a bad way. It's just I he's very young, and I admire him because I would have been doing these things when I was his age in high school, but I didn't. Though when I was in high school, there wasn't all of this going on, but there were things going on. I admire the kid actually because when I was in high school, there was a whole YouTuber thing was a big thing, and the whole Vine stuff, and there was no TikTok crap or Instagram was not what it is today. Um, there was a whole Insta famous thing, but oh, and the whole influencers thing was at a no, I don't know if it's peak, but it was certainly there in the zeitgeist of 2014, 2015. And I was not thinking about these things at all, unfortunately. And the fact that this kid is, building something on Substack and has 50 something subscribers, and I just have 12 or 13. I really admire the kid. He's very, he was very awkward and he was a kid. But again, I admire the hell out of him and I wish I would have been building something at his age. So, yeah, um, the call was good. Uh, I enjoyed it and I thought it was productive. I thought we made some interesting points and I think it was a good conversation. It was an hour and it's my first Substack live. I count that as a win because it's part of growing my Substack, making connections with other people, and posting stuff on Substack. And this is certainly, obviously, going to be in my profile. Yeah, so I count it as a win, because it's related to continuing my development and growth and journey on Substack. And once again, I have to be my own case study, right? So this call and connecting with this with Rita and with this kid, it's part of my case study thingy. So yeah, I also been working on notes. I've still been experimenting with AI to create my notes. If I'm honest, I'm struggling with the whole notes thing. Um, I'm just not happy with the thing with most of the results I get extracting notes from from the things I've already written with AI. Most of the things that it throws at me, I'm not super happy with. They don't feel entirely like me. Well, I guess it's part of the process. I have to continue experimenting until I find a way to work with AI in a way that helps me extract short form content from my long form written pieces that I've already written and help me. I just have to learn how to get valuable, authentic short form content from AI based off of my long form written stuff. Still working on it. Um, and it's been difficult, but I guess I just have to be patient. I've also been struggling with the whole replying to other people on Substack. That's not even that hard. I've honestly just it was it was a slow week for me. I hung out with an old friend. He's been living in Canada for like 3 years, and he came to visit. And the conversation I had with him was it really got me thinking, and it really led me to realize that holy shit, I'm barely 29. And when I really zoom out, I think 29 is not that old yet. And I still, provided I don't die, I still have my whole life ahead of me. So the fact that I'm single, the fact that I have no kids, no family, like a wife or kids or stuff like that. That a lot of people my age do have, or at least that's what I've seen around me. They have these day jobs and their families, and they're paying their homes and all of these grown up things. And here I am, no family, not married, just me and my cat, and I'm 29, and my life could go anywhere from here because I'm planning to leave this town that I've been for a long more time than I would have liked. I feel stuck here and I I I want to leave. Something has to change. Something will change in the next 6 months and I'll leave this place. And it's scary to look at all the potential horizons that I could strive for. It's pretty scary. It's the whole Kierkegaard thing. Dizziness is the anxiety of freedom. That's where I'm feeling. I have all of this freedom. I could literally go anywhere I want to. I could go back to the US. I could stay here in Mexico and go to some other state. I could even go to Canada or some other country. Or I could just stay here and go to college is another thing I really want to do, go to college because I never went to college and I'm not that old. 20 I'm pretty old actually in comparison to all the kids that will be there in college, but I'm really thinking of going to college. That could be here or it could be in some other state. Or maybe I don't go to college and I just go backpacking. I'm in a crucial point in my life. This is a point that I'll look back years ahead and I'd be like, wow, I had all these options, but I chose this thing. And by choosing what I chose, I give up on all the other options and their timelines. And I'll never know what would have happened had I taken one of those other timelines. And that's weird. That's a weird feeling. I could only choose one thing, and I will only ever get to know, provided I don't die. I will only ever get to know what happens in one timeline out of all those timelines. And that's that's quite something. Um anyway, that's not the point. That's just something I've been experimenting. But I guess that doesn't have anything to do with ghostwriting or with my journey, but whatever. I said it, and that's what's happened this week. For next week, I will continue my notes on day 2 of the challenge, and I will finish my homework for day 2 of the challenge. I will continue, obviously, listening to the audios. Um, I will do the homework. I think I already said that. And I will continue the free resource for Substack for improving, optimizing my Substack. I'll continue working on my notes for Substack. And I don't think I'm going to be starting the um, Justin Welsh courses that I got that I mentioned last week. I don't think it's a good idea to take on too much at once. I'll focus on the ghostwriting material that I have and the challenge, homework, and all that stuff. And once I'm done with that, within the next week or maybe even 2 weeks, if I really take my time with it to like really soak it in and to execute what they're teaching me, then it could be a week or 2 weeks. We'll see. And then once I'm done with that, then I'll start with the Justin Welsh. So that's it. I'll leave it at that. Thank you. And see you for the third week. Peace.